This is CBC Winnipeg News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. The deadline is closing in for the Trump administration imposing its 50% tariff on a wide range of Canadian goods. The Prime Minister is expected to speak with the U.S. President before the midnight deadline. Ashley Burke looks at what could happen next.
The Prime Minister's office says Mark Carney spoke to Donald Trump this afternoon, the second call in 2 days, as Canada tries to stop a new round of American tariffs.
We cannot just sit by and have the U.S. Wallop us over the head with tariff after tariff after tariff and just take it, give concessions and not fight back.
Canadian exports, including construction materials, alcohol and dairy, could be hit with Trump's new 50% tariffs if a deal isn't reached by midnight. Some say the government is working on a plan to potentially retaliate.
Your plan A is a deal, and I think that will be the focus right up until the final hours. But they are looking at all options in terms of how could Canada have a serious response to this latest trade action.
Sources say Canada wants the U.S. to lower sectoral tariffs, including on Canadian-made vehicles, to a headline rate of 15%, down from 25%. But the dairy industry has been warned that a deal would likely include changes to its sector because the U.S. is pushing for it.
We're concerned. We've made a very clear message to our government that we don't want to see any further concessions.
One former U.S. ambassador to Canada says the tariffs would hit $20 billion of Canadian exports out of $400 billion.
I think not wise to blow up the world over the additional tariffs on that particular small slice of Canadian exports to the United States.
The Prime Minister under pressure to get a good deal.
All we've really seen from the Carney government since they've been elected last year has been concession after concession, just about always without getting anything in return.
Some industries are waiting to be briefed by the government about what happens next. With Trump, the situation could change quickly and unpredictably. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Ottawa.
The Premier promises a temporary ER will be up and running in Dauphin by Labor Day. The city's hospital was inundated by floodwater at the end of June, leaving it inoperable and thousands of people without emergency care. Wab Canoe says this will help fill the void until long-time repairs can be finished. CBC's Santiago Arias Orozco reports.
A huge downpour flooded the Dauphin Health Center close to 7 weeks ago. Not having an ER in the city is scary for Susan Thielen. She lives in Dauphin and has heart issues from long COVID.
We don't have anywhere close to run to. That's always in the back of your mind, right?
There are 2 emergency departments close to Dauphin. Both are half an hour away by car.
Sometimes a major regional emergency department gets flooded out, and then you have to problem solve the situation as we're doing in Dauphin right now.
That's why the Premier says a temporary ER will be ready to open on Labor Day. It will operate on the site of the current hospital 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Some scans and diagnostics are already operational in Dauphin. The Premier says it will be staffed like any other emergency department.
Basically, the ER docs have given us a letter that specifies the services that they want. Their wish is our command.
Dauphin Mayor David Bosiak says work is underway to bring cancer care and dialysis back to the community.
Having an emergency room in our community is the most important piece that we have to get back first.
We'll get to have that peace of mind. Like if somebody has a heart attack or a stroke or whatever that needs to be seen quickly, at least there will be somebody there that can actually do something.
Doctors Manitoba say the reopening in 3 weeks is an ambitious plan. The province says restoration work is already happening, but doesn't know when the rest of the hospital will reopen. Santiago Arias Orozco, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Meantime, the NDP government touted new numbers today, saying it is making progress hiring more healthcare workers in Manitoba. But even the Premier admits the province has a long way to go. The CBC's Ian Fraze reports.
A gift for one of the thousands of new healthcare staff working in Manitoba, a doctor from the UK.
I just want to say the people of this province are fantastic. I have no words. I have basically no words.
Since the NDP's election in October 2023, the province says it has added 4,725 healthcare workers after subtracting the number who've left. The new hires include 370 doctors, 1,464 nurses, 2,152 healthcare aides, and 607 allied health professionals. But even with these hires, the Premier acknowledged patients are still waiting too long for healthcare.
What has changed over the past few years is that the volumes at the emergency rooms and the urgent cares are much greater today. And the acuity. People are sicker today. And anyone on the front lines, I'm sure, has seen this.
That's why Wab Kinew says the province won't stop hiring, but critics are skeptical of the government's claims.
Many of the members and many nurses, when they hear that information, depending on where they are, will say, if you've hired that many nurses, where are they?
The numbers that Manitobans are telling me constantly, and that is today, the wait time at St. Boniface is 15 hours long, 60 people waiting, 13 and a half hours at Health Science Centre.
One of the areas the province has found hiring success, a recent recruiting trip to the United Kingdom.
I just submitted my CVs across many provinces, and the first province to get back to me was Manitoba. And they organized, everything was seamless.
The new doctor says it's a dream to finally arrive in Manitoba, especially after his visa application was denied 16 years ago. Ian Fraze, CBC News, Winnipeg.
A Manitoba pharmacist has been fined after admitting to using drugs on the job as tens of thousands of doses went missing. The College of Pharmacists of Manitoba says 39,000 doses of controlled substances went unaccounted for at a Portage La Prairie pharmacy between June 2020 and October 2021. The man dispensed drugs without prescriptions, dispensed early refills without permission, faked communications, and backdated records. The manager also said she was confident the man was injecting drugs in the bathroom. A disciplinary panel placed heavy restrictions on his license after a 30-month suspension. He's also been ordered to pay $100,000 to the regulator. Some Steinbach residents are suing the southern Manitoba city, alleging its negligence led to their homes being flooded. It's all related to flooding from both September 2024 and 2025. Some areas were hit with more than 160 millimeters of rain. The group claims the amount of rainfall that entered the sewer system was significantly increased because the city failed to properly plan and maintain the system, among other issues. 13 homes are represented in the statement of claim. The plaintiffs are seeking undisclosed damages for their losses, costs, and expenses. None of the allegations have been tested in court. A Winnipeg Community Centre is breaking into the housing market and helping give people the support they need. The Elmwood Hub project is transforming the local community resource centre on Watt Street into a community living space. The plan is to build 115 mixed-income multi-family housing units. They'll be integrated with health, education, employment, and community support services. It will also include transitional housing spaces, including a floor for young people aging out of care.
It's a 7-story building. Right now, if those of you who have been at the center, it's just one floor, one main floor. And with this building, we're building up 7th floor. We've been able, with the city, to get the 1.2 acre to build the space.
Demolition of the current building is slated to start in the fall, with construction set for early spring. The hope is to have it finished by 2028. All right, Riley, and now Riley, another really nice day out there today.
Yeah, rinse and repeat from what we saw yesterday, Brittany, and we'll do this all over again tomorrow, although there's maybe a little bit of a bump in the road for some of us as we get through the day tomorrow in southern Manitoba. 22 in Winnipeg this afternoon, 22 in Brandon. Normal high for this time of the year now down to 24 degrees. So it's the sign of a slow change of the seasons as we inch toward September. Swan River still at 24 this afternoon, 16s and 17s through Gillam, Island Lake, and into Thompson through the afternoon hours. High pressure keeping us nice and clear. Still some lingering showers and some cloud cover in northeastern parts of the province from an area of low pressure that's now off of far northern Ontario. If you're looking for any real weather in the south, though, I mean, couple little stray showers, that's about it, passing through the Portage-La Prairie area through the afternoon today. Another cool one tonight, getting down to 2.9 in Grand Rapids overnight last night, 8 degrees in Winnipeg overnight, mostly clear skies tonight, 11 by the morning, Brittany, and looking at a warmer 26 degrees as we get into the afternoon tomorrow.
Thank you, Riley.
You're welcome.
Should politicians facing criminal charges be forced out of office? We take a look at how other jurisdictions handle the issue after the break. Should politicians facing serious criminal charges be removed from office while dealing with the allegations? Well, it's a move Manitoba is planning to look at, but not till after the next civic election. It comes as one city councillor refuses to step down despite being accused of multiple criminal charges, including sexual assault. CBC's Cameron McLean digs into what other provinces do in these cases.
You have to talk to my lawyer.
Are you going to continue doing your job as a city councillor?
Absolutely.
Councillor Russ Wyatt refused calls to step aside after police laid new charges against him last week. 2 men have now accused the Transcona councillor of drugging and sexually assaulting them. Wyatt denies the allegations. Manitoba leaders, including Premier Wab Kinew, have urged Wyatt to step back to deal with the charges.
Yeah, I agree with the mayor. You know, this councillor should step away.
Wyatt hasn't yet registered for this fall's election, but unless he's convicted of an indictable offense, nothing would prevent him from running again. That has prompted calls for change. But how far should governments go when the allegation is serious, but the case hasn't gone to trial?
It should not be nearly impossible to remove someone from office if they've been acting egregiously badly.
Toronto municipal lawyer John Mascarin taught a course on municipal ethics during the tumultuous reign of former Mayor Rob Ford. He says the presumption of innocence limits what governments can do. Ontario recently passed Bill 9, the Municipal Accountability Act. It creates a process for removing councillors found to have committed serious misconduct. But Mascarin says the process is fatally flawed because it requires a unanimous vote of council.
How many times do you see a unanimous decision from a council on anything that's controversial? I would say almost never.
British Columbia took a different approach. Since 2022, politicians charged with a criminal offense are required to take paid leave until the case is resolved. Democracy Watch co-founder Duff Conacher says he thinks that strikes the right balance.
The way the system should work is that for serious crimes that are alleged, it should be an automatic suspension, but with pay because the person's innocent until they're proven guilty.
Manitoba has no equivalent law. The Association of Manitoba Municipalities says it's open to legislative changes that would give greater clarity and flexibility when politicians are charged with serious crimes while respecting the presumption of innocence. Premier Wab Kinew says he wants to look at the issue, but not until after the election. Cameron McLean, CBC News, Winnipeg.
OpenAI is launching a new version of ChatGPT designed for teens aged 13 to 17. It will include content restrictions around suicide, self-harm, and romantic or sexual topics. The new version will also provide homework support designed to help students actively learn rather than just providing answers or writing assignments. OpenAI says its goal is to guide teens toward healthy use of artificial intelligence in an age-appropriate environment. The price of groceries is up, but there's one ingredient that's been particularly high: beef. But you may have noticed some cheaper alternatives on the shelves. As Alex Kozrowski tells us, beef from Australia is offering consumers a break on their grocery bill.
Visit any superstore, No Frills, or independent grocer in Saskatchewan, and you'll now find beef from Australia on the shelves. You'll also find it's nearly half the price of Canadian beef. Loblaws, which owns the grocery outlets, has added the meat as another option for consumers, but it's putting customers in a tough spot. Buy cheap or buy Canadian.
Well, I think it makes sense if the price is so high that people are going to look to something cheaper. I mean, certainly it's not the sustainable options.
Last time I tasted beef other than ground beef was probably 2 Christmases ago.
Would I consider? Probably not, but we'll see. At some point I may taste it and see. It's hard to believe they can ship it all the way and it'd be a lot cheaper.
Loblaws says it remains committed to supporting Canadian beef producers while providing its customers with choice and value. The head of the Canadian Cattle Association says international beef on the shelf doesn't hurt local producers, as their feeding methods make for a different product.
The result is really a product that is leaner, doesn't tend to have quite the same marbling, and therefore isn't as preferred in Canada as compared to the Canadian produced beef.
Fulton says thanks to the Trans-Pacific Partnership, Australian exported beef is filling a void here, while Canadian products do better in markets like Japan and Vietnam. But he also thinks the low price of Australian meat in Loblaws grocery stores could hurt the retailer.
The other likely big factor here is that, you know, retailers will use a lost leader tactic where they will, you know, drop the price of a certain product even below what it costs for them to bring it in.
And he says that could cost Loblaws money in the end. But for the average grocery shopper, quality and cost will stay in consideration when they get to the meat section.
Beef is definitely a luxury. So if any of our friends want to invite us over for a steak, I'll bring a salad.
Alex Kozrowski, CBC News, Regina.
I love it. She's just waiting for her invite. Give her a call.
Exactly.
Not a bad night to be outside barbecuing tonight.
No, this evening, great. Although once we get into the night, it'll be cool again tonight. A good one to sleep with the windows open. And you know, Brittany, things trending very comfortable as we get through the next little while here. Let's take a look at the 10-day temperature trend. This will show us where we're headed. And I mean, I don't have a lot to say other than things very comfortable to close out the month even. I mean, you see a bit of a blip here as we get into Monday with temperatures soaring. I mean, maybe this is a little bit optimistic on the part of the forecast modeling. I do have Winnipeg at 29 for Monday. Maybe optimistic. We'll see how the forecaster finds itself in the coming days here. But generally speaking, things staying close to that 25, 26 degree mark, a couple degrees above seasonal for this time of the year as we get toward the end of the month. The other blip in the forecast being a weak disturbance that'll push across the province as we get into the day tomorrow. This will likely lead to a few showers, not for everybody, but I'll walk you through it here. So still even into the evening tonight, a few scattered showers into extreme northeastern parts of the province, places like Shamattawa, likely seeing some of that. As we get into the morning tomorrow, we start mainly sunny. We'll start to see, though, early in the morning, some cloud building in into western parts of the province. And here's that weak area of low pressure as it sinks through southeastern Saskatchewan. This will likely bring some showers or some light rain into the afternoon tomorrow through parts of the Parkland into the Swan Valley. This is at 2 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow here. And this pushes eastward as we get into the early evening. So expect, I mean, a mix of sun and clouds for much of the Red River Valley into the Interlake tomorrow. It's once we get into the evening that we'll likely see some of that shower activity and some of that pressing back into the Westman area as we get into the evening. Once we get into Thursday, things do start to dry up again, maybe a couple of scattered showers, but really that's about it as we get Thursday into Friday. This is translating into a fairly light event, 5, maybe 10 millimeters tops through parts of the Parkland into the Interlake. Anywhere along the Trans-Canada and south, pretty negligible as we get through the next 24 hours or so. Overnight temperatures, another cool one tonight, 7 to 9 degrees in western Manitoba, 4 in Thompson, likely seeing some fog through the early morning hours around the Thompson area tomorrow morning. 8 in Gillam, likely some scattered showers yet to come, and 7 to 9 degrees into northwestern Ontario. Pleasant through northern Manitoba tomorrow, 21 to 23 degrees through Flin Flon, Napaw, Thompson, 24 to 26 into the southern part of the province, and a quick peek the next 2 days here. Thursday, another warm one, a chance of a few lingering showers, Brittany, into the city into Thursday morning, clearing into the afternoon, and then maybe a bit windy, and temperatures staying very comfortable to close out the week on Friday at 25 degrees.
Thanks, Riley.
You're welcome.
It's not your traditional fundraiser. Why these Manitobans dropped down the side of a building, all in the name of donations. That's next.
All right, welcome back. Let's take a look at our dog walking forecast. Middle of the week, and tonight it takes us to Flin Flon. And that is where Cheney, having a little bit of a nap on the deck there, fresh after her grooming. Don't blame you. Thank you, Kim, for sending this picture, and please keep sending yours to talkback@cbc.ca. In Flin Flon tomorrow, very comfortable, mix of sun and clouds. What I would categorize as fairly pleasant. Could be a bit of a breezy south wind at times, but 22 degrees into the afternoon and into the evening hours. All right, here's a look at your 7-day forecast. I teased you with a pair of 26s through Wednesday, Thursday, maybe a bit breezy into Friday, 25 degrees. And there's that little bump in the forecast as we get into Monday, looking at 29 right now. Things could change by then, but we'll keep things on the warm side to start next week. Well, hopefully you aren't like me and scared of heights, or you might want to look away, because this next item is not for the faint of heart.
And we're both scared of heights.
Yes.
Drop Zone is a knee-shaking, heart-pounding adventure that had many getting out of their comfort zone, all for a good cause. Here's tonight's Daily Lift.
Okay, we got the Johnstone sisters.
The Easter Seals Drop Zone Challenge gave 50 brave Manitobans a once-in-a-lifetime chance today. Rappellers descended from the top of the downtown Manitoba Hydro building, that's 22 stories, all to help break down barriers for Manitobans with disabilities. George Hacking did the drop with his daughter. The two raised more than $4,000 to take part.
It's kind of trying to take it in and not get too nervous about it. Like, it's a beautiful, it's crazy, like, really, and you're just like, why am I doing this somehow? But at the same time, you're doing it for the charity, and it's an experience. I'm as a proud dad, I was glad that Casey could join me in this epic journey of ours.
Now, every dollar raised through Drop Zone goes to Manitoba Possible and remains in the province. It goes towards a range of programs and services, from inclusive recreation to sending kids to camp. The event has helped raise nearly $2 million over 2 decades.
So great. It's such a great cause, and it's so important there to say that the money all stays in Manitoba, goes to Manitobans in need. Good job to everybody who did that today.
I'm lucky that I didn't go down, because some poor soul would have puke on their office window for the rest of the week.
Somebody could clean it on the way down.
Exactly. The next one.
Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.